Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Welcome to Andrews the podcast. I am your host for this evening and for all the other evenings until I can get somebody to come in and help me out with this thing right here. And that's what we need. We need help over here at Welcome to Andrews the podcast. We need some help. So if you are media trained, if you're not media trained, if you're media interested, I would love to have a conversation with you. If you have a young person who is interested in media and any of these, anything dealing with media, you got a person that likes to make TikTok videos, please reach out to me and let's work. Let's do some work. Okay, so I'm waiting for a very special guest to come on, and we're going to have a conversation about legitimate media sources with everything going on right now when it comes to the town of Andrews. And you know what? Let me get this thing shared out like it's supposed to be. I always forget to do this part. I'll just jump on here and jump right into the doggone mix. And I need to put this phone on a charger. And shout out to Fab News. That's Fab, F-A-B News out of Florence, South Carolina. Shout out to brother that started that news organization, and he's going to be on here shortly as soon as I can get this thing shared out into the public domain. All right, let's see what we got here. We don't have to do that. We got to do this though. And there it is. It's out there. So hopefully, we get the brother in here and strike up a very good conversation about reliable media sources, man, because that is something that is very, very, in this day and age, information that's what it is. It's about information. Y'all please excuse me while I plug this phone in. There we go. We got it plugged in. Sorry about that. But the conversation tonight is going to be about reliable media sources. And so y'all please hit that share button so we can get as many people in here so that we can get the most out of this conversation. First of all, can you guys hear me? Could somebody please put in the comment section whether you can hear me or not? Can you hear me? How is my sound? Do I need to turn my mic up? Do I need to turn my mic down? I need for you guys to really let me know what's going on. Old-fashioned way. As soon as I can get this thing shared out into the public. Obviously, it's working. So I think I'm getting some lag, trying to provide some lo-fi music with the broadcast, but I think I'm gonna get off of that because again, I got a very special guest coming on tonight to add to this discussion. And the question is about reliable media sources and where you're consuming your media, and if whether or not you're using the proper filters when you take this information in, or you just taking the first thing that you read and running with it, or are you running it through, you know what I mean, the proper oh, this is new. This is a new feature. What's this? Wow. There's a new feature on StreamYard. We'll get into that later. But yeah, the question is about the the media sources that you use. Again, there is a link in the description box. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put that link. Let me edit the. I'm gonna put it in the description over on Facebook, because that link there that I have there is on YouTube. So we'll get this link and pop it on there. And you are welcome to come in and join the discussion about reliable media sources. How reliable is the place where you get the information that you readily talk to somebody else about? You readily share this information with somebody else. Where do you go and get this information? Again, there is a link I just provided in the chat. So please, if you want to join this discussion, come on, or just get in the chat and let's chat it up about reliable media sources and the damage that they can do when they go unchecked and unquestioned or unchallenged in whatever narrative they want to put out there. So I think it'll be appropriate now to say, hey, don't kill the messenger. Okay. Just focus on the message. Again, I am waiting on a guest. Let's see if I can get him in a different way. Let's see. And we're going to have a discussion about reliable and unreliable media sources. Let's see, where is he? I'll tell you what, bro, if you're watching and you can't get on, let's put it in the title. I'm going to put it in the title. I'm going to put the link in the title on Facebook. There it is again. So if you're watching and you can't get on, you can call me. We can do a call in. We can do it that way. Mr. Scott Harper, why did you untag in the post? You posted that article. I don't understand. I see where you took it down. That was dangerous. Very dangerous. Very irresponsible. And a lot of people trust your word. There's a lot of people that will repeat and parrot what Gab News has on it. Hey, you seen this on Gab News? Hey, you seen this on Gab News? And you've enjoyed a power that you've misused it. And you've had every opportunity to just do the right thing. And the right thing is to just pick up a phone and get both sides of the story. The people, your viewers, they deserve that. Now, if you are an advertiser of on Gab News, I would really, really consider uh whether or not I would want my brand associated with the constant. Okay. This is not a one-time thing. This is a constant uh thing that has been, and like I said, I've noticed it for a long time, but nobody's ever said anything about it. And to the point now you've gotten reckless to the point where now where you're dangerous. Now, the fact that you took that down tells me that you didn't have that you didn't have the clearance to post it. You just took the liberty. You are so engaged in this whatever battle you got going on with the mayor of Andrews that you throw caution to the wind. You don't use any type of journalistic integrity. You don't issue an apology. You just move on to the next thing. It's more tabloid than it is, credible news. And I'm not saying that to say that I'm credible news, but I'm working to be credible news. I'm not going to print it unless I verify it. Now, somebody responding to something, I'm going to play it. That's their words. I'm not adding to it. I'm not taking away from it. That's their words. The problem is that they never had a platform to speak from. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. And the thing about this, you don't have to make anything up. I'm not gonna make anything up. That's some journalism. That's some radio right there. Hit the cough button there. Oh man. Talk to me. Come on, man. Hit that link. Come on board and talk to me about reliable media sources. How many of you have went somewhere and quoted something that you got from Mr. Scott Harper, Gab News? And Scott said, when I met Scott, when I saw him at the town hall forum, Scott knows this is not personal. He understands this. Remember what you said? You said, I made you famous on that last video. So why did you untag me on this one? I'm trying to make you famous again. I'm trying to make you famous for what you really do, bro. It's like a disrespect to the hardworking people that do hard jobs. You know what I mean? And and at the end of the day, they just want to go on their phone and get some valid information. Because sometimes coming up here, they may have an election, but they not able to go to city council meeting, and they're not able to go to town council meeting and all this other and county council meetings like that because they working, making sure they got food on the table, making sure they got lights on. And here you got this guy comes, and all they want to do is just go there and just get some information. You know what I mean? Information, just hey, what's going on? Let me go check. Let me go check Gab News or Georgetown Times or the Post and Courier or Fab News or any of these news organizations or some of these people who purport themselves to be news organizations, and you're just looking for some reliable information because, I mean, to be quite honest, you don't have the damn time to go through and decipher all the BS. And I'm not here saying that everything to do Prince is um that would be disingenuous. But it's the times that you take the liberty to do these kind of things that kind of throw people at a loss. I'm always leery of a news article when it's just one sided. I find it offensive. That is one sided when I read an article like that because I know I'm being swayed in a way that I'm not, you know, I'm not fully on board with. A lot of people are taking a position, a political position and things, and they just assume, oh, this guy is just some dumb Democrat or this guy is some racist Republican. And if you would just, take a step back and just look at what your eyes are telling you, yeah, you got a bunch of people that's dug in into partisan politics, and it's not, in my opinion, it's not a useful thing when you're talking about a small town situation. The whole vibe of the national politics is, you know, the Democrats are dumb and the Republicans are racist. You know, and there's no kind of effort to, what I mean, find middle ground and it's just one side pushing this way this hard and the other side pushing back this way this hard and sometimes I wonder if people ever think about what it's going to be like. What kind of world are we creating for the children that we're raising, that coming up behind us? Or do we even care enough to even think about the children that we're raising, the world that we're creating for them, the world that the world that this place that we're going to leave for them? And a big part of that is the media. Where do you get your news from? By just talking to people, you can tell if this person watches CNN or if this person watches Fox. It's that obvious. Like, and I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. Who don't wanna put something, you want to hear something you want to hear. You want to be, you know what I mean? But sometimes you need to, if everybody is looking that way, sometimes you need to look back just the other side just to see what's going on, just to make sure, that you're not a part of groupthink and you're losing it. So I do not know what's going on with the link, bro. If matter of fact, let me call him, man. Well, I can't do that without you guys. All right. All right. So that might work right there. What I just did. I think you sent me I sent you a You sent me a friend. I sent you a friend request. If you respond to it, I think I'll be able to link you in. Let's see if I can do this now. Hit that old invite button. My man, I seen you just hit it. Let's see what we got. F-A-B. F-Ab News. All right, let's try this again. Let's go out of this. Let's go back in there. Okay, hold on. Let's see what we got. Confirm. I'm confirming. Hey, again, thank y'all for sticking in there, man. Listen, hit that like button. I am getting this. This is gonna be a great conversation. So if you hung around this long, just hang on in there, hit the like button, give me a second. Let me get this technology thing out of the way. Facebook is acting like it don't want to precipitate with the old boy. Thank you for the hearts and the likes. Ooh. Let's see if we can get that to work now. What's going on, Devin? Let's go. F-A-B. There it is. There you go, Baba. There go the link right there. Yeah. There goes the link. I've sent you the link. So, hey, man, listen. This is a big time honor for me. I'm keeping it real with you, man. That my next guest, big, like, you know, in this media world, I'm an infant. I'm an infant. I'm just learning, walking along, you know what I mean? Blind man shuffling, figuring it out as I go. And I've attracted the attention of somebody who, you know, it's not every day you meet people who could, you know, it's like, man, listen, I want to help you. You know, it's crazy. I had a real off-putting conversation today that it was just weird. There we go, man. Listen, oh man, I see you. Let me go ahead and bring you up right now. Fab News and
hey,
beyond.
What's up, man? Good to be on with you, man. Thank you for having me.
Hey, brother, I look good, man. I appreciate it. That setup right there. I love that.
Yeah, man. Glad to be on with you, man.
All right, man. So, hey, listen, introduce yourself. You
So
know what I mean?
most people know me, man. Georgetown's my hood. Grew up there, man. Sanford is my stumping grounds. You know, moved to Florence some years ago, man. Just a little backdrop, man. Got in trouble with the law, went away, did a little time. When I came back, man, stayed at a halfway house in Florence, and I just never came back to Georgetown. But Georgetown's my heart, man. So when I see things going on in Georgetown, I try to support it as much as I could, do whatever I can, man. And my heart just go out to Georgetown, man, because I see so much going on in the media, man, that's just one-sided, if I may say it like that.
That's an issue right there, man. So a little bit more, man. So tell us how you got into this space right here, man. To the media space, to the news space, and why did you what caused you to gravitate to this space?
So what happened is I actually pastor a church, and what I discovered is, for me, ministry is somewhat different. When they say different, I've never really been a needy person. So I think ministry should be giving. That's what Jesus did. 98% of his ministry, man, he was on the outside. He wasn't within the four walls. And so because of that, we do ministry on a different level. For example, during the pandemic, I gave my salary up, man, to make sure, man, that the church was able to survive, pay the musicians, keep the lights on. And so I still preached, man, and I took on more responsibility, man, because now we went from just having a service to streaming live, conference call, prayer line, man. So we went to doing more things. And so as I try to do things, man, to really, really try to help the community, what I found is that there's so many media that is negative and it is one-sided. And if you don't get in with the click with the good old boy system, then the media don't want to cover you. So when I find myself, man, during the pandemic, we were giving away gas, filling people's car up. That wasn't a story to them, because there was no shooting, there was no killing. When we were giving away chicken, man, and ham, and just trying to make sure, man, that people kept their head above the water during trying times. There was nothing. And so when I look, man, I see the media come into the Black community, man, and it's very dogmatic to us, man. So when I see this little girl who won the spelling bee, they don't want to talk about that. But they'll talk about this little boy who take the pistol to the jail. They don't want to talk about grandma who's 101 years old, man, and fed the whole community. Nobody want to talk about that. I'm going to give you a prime example, man, and I'm going to hit home. So my brother is married to a woman from Andrews, South Carolina, man, Perlita Moore. Everybody know the Moore family. Everybody know, man. Everybody remember. You know what I'm saying? When you hear Miss Roosevelt, if you say Roosevelt, everybody in Andrews know where to come on Sunday.
Hey, man.
You got to say Roosevelt. They know where the food at. But here's what's amazing. Miss Roosevelt fed everybody. You had to pay for a plate, but guess what? Even if you didn't have no money, she still fed you.
Oh, I know. I listen. Yes, sir.
But here's my point that's going to hit home.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody did a story on her.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that was a good story. But I can't tell you the endless time how many times there was a story about the shooting and the stabbing and the crazy things that was going on in West Florida. Nobody, they talk about that, but they don't talk about the good. And so what media does in the African American community, man, is they scout out all the bad. You know what I'm saying? You can do 100 good things, man, and you'll never get any media coverage. But if you do that one bad thing, they're gonna rise you, man. They're gonna pull up your past. They're gonna try to figure out, man, how to
and that's their tool, man. They use that tool to discredit you. Like, okay, yeah, I had a past, but what does that have to do with this truth I'm telling you right now?
Yeah.
And like you say, man, there's not a balance. And that's what I saw from just sitting back, kind of peeping what's going on in the town of Andrews. It's been traditionally, you know what I mean, Georgetown Times and Gab News, man. It's just been Andrews has been a punching bag. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, a punching bag, and nobody has, they just took whatever they said as gospel. They printed it. It is true, and that's very, 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 very dangerous.
Yeah, well, but it's going to take the people to change that. One of the things about media, man, is this. This is my success. This is my success, man, in media, man. My success in media is this, not news. I don't make money off news. I make money selling ads. And I can't sell an ad if ain't nobody following me. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to hit a man in the pocket, you want to make a man subdue and really, really get where he need to be, hey, hit him in the pockets. How do you hit him in the pocket? Stop following. You know what I'm saying? You create a platform for media. And that's what people need to understand. I don't care whether it's podcast, whether it's digital paper, whatever. You create the atmosphere for the people. So If nobody's following you and nobody is liking you, you don't get the status quo, man. And if you don't get the status quo, who's going to buy an ad from somebody who doesn't have any followers?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's a question I was asking earlier of Gab News' advertisers. Mm-hmm. Is this what you want to associate your brand with? Because you know what I mean? This is what he does. This is how he's been doing for a long time, and he's not going to change. Okay. Like I said, I told you he took that article down, right? Well, he took the schedules down.
Yeah. But here's the thing, and I'm working on this. Let me back up and say this. And I like Scott as a person, man, because I'm trying to get to heaven. And I gotta love everybody, man, to get to heaven. Mm-hmm. I may not like his deliverance and his methodology of delivering his message, but I like him as a person.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
I have a picture that I want to post because me and him had a conversation at the town hall, and he was saying that, hey, look, this is a gladiator sport, and I mean, dude, it's not personal. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we can, like he said, we can go have a beer afterwards. You know what I mean? But be responsible how you print these stories.
Yeah, and I think what happened, one of the things that I do personally is I do research with every story that I print. I never print anything unless I can verify it. For example, man, if the sheriff or the coroner, even something simple as the coroner tells me, hey, Sally Sue died, I don't take the coroner's word. I say, hey, I'm going to text you. Or, hey, man, I'm going to send me an email. And I text him. And when he responds, I send that response to my email and I print it. I got a file cabinet, man, with January, February, March, April. And I got at the end of the last day in the year, in the month, I close this file out. But if somebody ever come back, I can pull the file and say, listen, I didn't say this. This is what the sheriff said. This is what the coroner said. So you should verify, man, everything that you say. If you're in a meeting.
What are some of the consequences that media people face when they put out fake news? Essentially,
you could be sued for defamation of character, man. You definitely could be sued, man. And particularly, man, if you put out something that tarnishes someone's character, man, someone's integrity, you really could be in major trouble, man. Mm.
Yeah, because like I said, that for me, when he took it down, that was the answer for me. Like,
well, let me back up and say this.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the interview, and I read the interview, and I plan to be at the next city council meeting. I'm in the county council meeting because I have no qualm with Sheriff Weaver. However, let's set the record straight. Andrews is in Georgetown County. When he accepted the job to patrol the whole county. All right? And on top of patrolling the county, there is not just a shortage in Andrews, there's a shortage all across the world.
Nationwide.
One of the things that you face in Andrews is just like any other small municipality. They get officers in, they send them to training. Once they get training, once they get a little, get a little training under their belt, they do what everybody else do, man. They apply somewhere else and they go somewhere else.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Andrews is a small town who can't give out a big bonus to say, hey, if you stay here, we can do that. Andrews can't compete with Charleston. They can't compete with Myrtle Beach. You're surrounded. Andrews is in a very peculiar place. It's surrounded with major counties, man. You know what I'm saying? So how do you compete with these major counties? You can't compete with them. So therefore, you're going to lose officers. Hey, Florence is bigger than Andrews, man. We got the same problems here, man. People get trained and they go. I mean, that's life, man. People go. And for the life of it, man, you should want to see people exceed. You should want to see them exceed and you should want to see them succeed. So, but I beg to differ. I beg to differ because when Weaver took this job hey man, this is what he did. That's no different than saying, hey, Samper, you need to pay me. You know, y'all need to pay me more money to patrol the area. No, that's your job. Andrews is a part of your job. And in fact, I talked just so you know, I talked with the council. I got a meeting with him tomorrow. Everett Carolina, I got a meeting with him. And, you know, I hear all this crazy stuff, but let me say this. It's not about the mayor. It ain't about the sewer. It ain't about none of that. What my issue was Sheriff Weaver is this. You shared some classified information with Scott. Scott shared it publicly, media-wise. Listen, man, not only did he put each deputy and the chief at stake, he put every business owner and every constituent in Andrews in a bad place, man. Because listen, if I was a criminal, I know right now from 6 o'clock in the afternoon to 6 o'clock in the morning on the 13th, there's nobody gonna be here. And the police gotta come from Georgetown. So I go ahead and rob whatever business I want to rob. By the time I rob it, you know, the deputy might be halfway there, depends on where he's at. You know, so you took information that the chief gave you. He gave you this. So now this makes me think, if Sheriff Weaver can give Scott this kind of information, what else is he giving him? I mean, how else do Scott know? You know, we gotta, you know, it's not Democratic or Republican. I tell people this, listen, man, I'm not a Democratic and I'm not a Republican. I'm a people's person, and whoever's the best man for the job. I look at the platform, you know, I don't vote a straight Democratic, I don't vote a straight Republican. I vote for whoever has the best platform for me and my family. That's what I vote. And I vote my conscience. But here's my problem. When you look at Scott was here, Lane Cribb was here. He didn't interview Lane Cribb every week. Brandon Barber was the man. He didn't interview Brandon Barber every week. In fact, I talked to Everett Carolina. I talked to him tonight, and I could call his name, Councilman Carolina. This is what he told me. He said, as long as he's been the council over there in Andrews, Scott didn't talk to him. He hadn't called him. So now, here's where we got to understand. So we're talking about a tax problem in Andrews. The sheriff is the police. He's supposed to serve and protect, not worry about the tax dollars. If he's worrying about the tax dollars, then the sheriff might need to run for a council seat. You know, because that's who deal with the tax. So now, if we want to talk about tax and we want to be fair about it, then Scott should have been talking to Everett Carolina. Everett say Scott ain't never talked to him. No. So how is it? I mean, if you've never talked to him, why are we talking about taxes? Why are we talking about county taxes? Because this is the man who gets the money for Andrews from the county because he's the county representative.
Hey, he hasn't talked to him about hasn't done an interview with him about the EMS. So EMS has been moved outside of the city of Andrews, outside of the town of Andrews, over the big dam. Okay, which puts it on the other side of that railroad track over there, right? And you think Scott has asked any of the councilmen about any of that? No, not one time.
But you know, it's like this, man. This is common sense. Hey, man, ever since I was in school, man, in the 90s, Doc, in the 80s, man, there's been a problem with the train track and the EMS getting across the train track. So it just didn't start yesterday, man. So now you tell me, you take the EMS and put them across the train track. What are they going to do when the train is sitting on the track? You know, that's a story in itself.
Listen, we got 4 schools there, 4 schools there. We got the dialysis center there. We got I think 13 trailer parks, okay? And then you got the apartment complex, all these places where large groups of people gather. Okay? And when the mayor reached out to the county administrator, it was a strategical move, but nobody from Andrews was ever told about it. And nobody has been given an answer as to whether or not this is a permanent move. Now, keep in mind they had spent about $45,000 to $50,000 in repairing the building to house them, because before they moved to the new county building, which is the old Andrews High School, they were housed by the town of Andrews for 26 years. And so they moved from there to the old Andrews High, the welding building that the county owns. And then they spent that $50,000 in there, and then said, hey, no, it was still unsatisfactory or whatever. And now they moved them across the river. And again, Scott hasn't covered that at all. As a matter of fact, he said that he said that that's what he wanted to ask them, even when they had that old dust up about him wanting to talk to the mayor. The problem was he felt like, oh, a podcaster has more access to the mayor. No, I have more respect for these people, and I'm just coming just to listen. You tell me, and I'm putting it out there. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not adding to it, and I'm not taking away from it.
But again, this is my problem, and like I said, I have no problem. And I'm gonna be honest, man. I've talked to Scott, a couple of times. Hey, man, I've talked to him. I think he's a good dude. I just think he's a biased dude. And I think he's biased when it comes to the African American community. And, I reached out to him the other day. He didn't call, and so since he didn't call, then it's my duty now to provide news for the Black community. If you can provide news for the white community, then I can provide news for the Black community. And I don't want to take it there, but he took it there, And so if you're going to create a platform for the Republican mayor, then I need to create a platform for the Democratic mayor in Andrews. If you're going to create a platform, for the white sheriff, then I need to create a platform for the chief. Here's the deal, man. We could either we can come to the table and sit down and talk about it, or we can figure out a way, because listen, Scott viewers are African American community. This is an easy fix, man. And so in the next 24 hours, I'm gonna call him and say, hey, man, you want to talk? And if Scott doesn't call me, then I'm going to petition the African American to stop following him. Just this an easy fix. Just stop following him. We can provide news. I mean, I have a better platform, man. You can see from the studio I'm in. I got a better platform, man. You're talking about a guy who's making money off the African American community, off them followers, man. When I looked at the meeting, I'm not even going to talk about Andrews, man. They had a meeting last week, the school election meeting. Here it is, James Sanders. I grant you, did he mess up? I don't know. I don't know if he messed up or not. It's not my place to try to figure out whether he messed up. But I know this. Carl Anderson was just asking the Republicans to do one thing. Let's let the governor handle this. Listen, you and I both know, and whether the African community know or not, one thing about the governor, if a Democrat mess up, he ain't going to have no problems with removing. And he's going to go ahead and appoint a Republican in that seat. So he has no problem. I can name at least 20 people that I know the governor moved quickly when they mess up. He didn't hesitate. He ain't blink his eye. He moved. So if James Sanders had really, really messed up, like they said during the campaign trail, listen, he'd have been moved. They didn't move him because they didn't have anything. But here was my problem, man. So here, they didn't move him. You get to a meeting, 2 Republicans, 2 Democrats, but 1 Democrat is chairing the meeting. So now the Republicans got the supermajority. And they're over here now, they're bullying Ronnie Sad. And in fact, they told Ronnie, listen, man, move James. Ronnie listen, man, let's let the governor deal with this. The 2 of them made a motion, man, and second the motion. And they
this was at that breakfast luncheon in Paulus Island.
No, it was, I don't know where the meeting was at, but I just saw it was the election where Ms. Jean got appointed. The Republicans made a motion, second the motion, and had a guy on the floor, and Kyle was begging them. Representative Anderson was begging them, man, let the governor deal with this. And the Republicans was like, no, there's a motion on the floor. Finch, Senator Finch was like, Liz Goldfinch was like, listen, there's a motion on the floor, Sab. What are you going to do? Sab had to fold his hands, man, to hold on to that seat. It was his appointment that these guys was going to hijack. And when I look at Gab News, he told the whole story, but he didn't tell they made a motion. He didn't tell they made a motion. He didn't tell they seconded the motion. He didn't tell the motion was on the floor, and they tried to bully Kyle. I got to say this, Representative Anderson stood his ground, man. You know, he never backed up, man. But they were going to bully Sab, man. You know, and that's just one instance. My problem is I have no problem with you posting the news. Just post all the news, man.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And I tell people that all the time. Listen, I can write a story about you, bro. And when we finish, man, we can go out to breakfast because this is not personal.
No. It's
not personal, man. This is how I feed my family. You know what I'm saying? So it's business with me. When the story go off, it's finished. When my newspaper closed, when you finish reading it, when you get to the last period, I promise you, I'm doing something else, man. So it's not that serious to me, man. You know,
I heard you bring up the newspaper, man. Where could for those who don't know, people that's just coming to you, where could they find your newspaper at?
Fabnews.online, man. It's fabnews.online.
Hold on, let me get that up there, man. Give me a second here. I can get that up on the screen. Yeah, but go ahead. What you were saying, brother.
Yeah, so man, I mean, like I said, man, I have no problem with anybody posting the news. You have a right to post the news, man. My problem is when you post one-sided news. And, you know, that's where my issue is at, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be fair to the white community, be fair to the black community. And if you're not gonna be fair, hey man, everybody know me by this, man. And I pride myself on this. In Florence County, man, they know this about me. If you do wrong, I'm putting you in the paper. I don't care if you're Democratic. I don't care if you're Republican. If my mama got a DUI, man, she in the paper. Because she shouldn't have been driving drunk. I mean, it might sound harsh, but listen, man.
I mean, you know, if you consider yourself a media person, I mean, that same thing, man. My brother caught 25 years, and yes, I had to do that story and didn't feel no way about doing it, and called him right after him, like, hey, man, I just did a story on you. He was like, yeah, man, yeah. You know, so do I have that right? Fabnews.online?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But you know, here's the problem, man. When you start getting into people's pocket, they control your paper. I could have had plenty of opportunity, man, to had a few contracts, man, with a few people, man, where I didn't have to worry about the ads. But one of the things that I vow myself, man, is that I'm not going to allow somebody else to control my paper. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be able to write whatever I want to write. And so when you're controlled by these people, man, this is what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really know what Scott's situation is, but I know this. You know, you interviewing the mayor every week. You know, the sheriff, you know, I've sent Sheriff Weaver, man. I've sent him a request to get on their media log, man. I've yet to hear from him yet. You know what I'm saying? I've sent him and the chief. You know, I've yet to hear from him yet.
And you are credentialed media.
Credentialed media, man. I got a press badge, man. You know what I'm saying? Whole 9 yards, man. I got a business license, man. I'm a business guy, man. I mean, you know, I got an EIN number, man. People don't write checks to me. They write it to Fab News. You know, I got people that work for me, reporters. So
hey,
you know,
hey, I'm gonna be one of the reporters too.
So you know, so we coming, man. I mean, it's like this, man. I have no problem. Like I said, I have no problem with whatever media outlet you on, man. You can print whatever you want to print, man, but just be real, man. You know what I'm saying? When I say be real, if you're gonna print about the black, print about the white. You don't have to, you don't have to like Mayor McClary. You don't have to like him, but you should respect him because he's the mayor. You know, that's the people made that decision. You know, whether you agree with the people or whether you disagree. Right now, this is what the people did. And so if you're gonna call an apple An apple, call an apple an apple. Now, let's back up. Let's talk here. Let's get down to business. Let's talk. When Sheriff Weaver was running, this is what he said. And I'm gonna go back and find his campaign. Now, Sheriff Weaver was the one, when he was running against the African-American guy, he was the one that said he was going to put a police substation in every area where there was a fire station. So if he would have already had a substation in Andrews, like he said, we wouldn't even be having this conversation about taxes.
Absolutely.
Because the people would already be there. Here's the deal, man. And just for the people who don't know, I went to check because I wanted to see for myself. When you pay your vehicle taxes and you pull your vehicle taxes up, the jailhouse is on there. Who gets the jailhouse money? The sheriff. You know, the sheriff get the taxes. So let's get that let's get this thing understood. Andrews doesn't get your taxes. You don't pay your taxes to Andrews auditor because they don't have one. You pay your taxes to Georgetown County auditor. Then the auditor give the money to the county, and the county distribute the money back to Andrews. All right? So now, if we're going to talk about tax, all I'm saying there again, we talking facts here now.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? We talking facts. I challenge anyone on this live or who's going to watch later to show me where they took their taxes into the City Hall of Andrews and paid it. They don't. You know, they pay their taxes to Georgetown County Tax Assessor's Office. You know? So when you say you pay, you know, they're being double taxed. I mean, come on, man. Let's be real with the people. Let's not try to create strife. You know, and I challenge Scott, man. You know, bring them on, man. We can talk. All three of us. We're media, man. We ought to be able to talk like grown people because I'm going to talk facts.
Yep.
Now, I'm not going to talk what somebody told me. I'm going to talk facts. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to talk facts. In every municipality, man, the county covers the municipality. You know what I'm saying? In fact, the state troopers cover the municipality. You know, you don't believe it? Speed down Main Street in Andrews, man, to see one of the state trooper bust your head.
I've seen them do it.
So, I mean, I think, man, it's a matter of this. Here's what it is. It's a matter of a bunch of Caucasian people send the media to Andrews and stir up strife, man. And what the people of Andrews should do, that's even more reasons why you should get out and make sure, man, that you don't allow these people, man, to take your time. This is your time. Can't you see the handwriting on the wall, man? When you look at Andrews, man, can't you see? They're over here isolating Andrews. And when they're not giving the man the goods that he needs to succeed. You follow me? They're not giving him what it takes to succeed. And so it's almost like they're trying to dry him out to fail. You follow me? They're trying to not give him the resources that he needs so that he can fail. And then when he fails, Georgetown County come in and grab his charter and make it all Georgetown County, one big county. And then they'll come in and then they'll automatically mysteriously find the money to fix the sewer and everything that they need.
Everything. And you got citizens that's carrying that water for the county, citizens that live inside of Andrews, and you could show them, you know, you could show them step by step the progress that has been made in the last 7 years, and it means nothing because the ultimate plan is to sink Andrews.
It's sad, man, but I'm gonna tell you something. I pastor in North Carolina where there's a Democratic governor. I live in South Carolina where there is a Republican governor. It's night and day, man. You know, you got to think in terms of, man, I'm going to give you something, man. Even when the pandemic hit, the governor didn't shut anything down because he didn't care whether or not the people died. He cared about the tourists coming in, making money. That's the bottom line, man, is make money. So South Carolina has lots of money, man. And Mayor McCleary can have money, man. If some of those white boys was in the seat, they'd have found money. If they had to write a check. You know, it's the good old boy system that they want to do. And again, I can understand them all saying, well, Rich saying you from Andrews. I don't have a dog in the fight because I'm not from Andrews. You know, I mean, I just see it for what it is, man. I watch the media, man. Is dogmatic, man. I watch how they cover the stories, man. They blow the stories up, man. Scott blow the stories up, just straight blow it out of proportion, man, with this man. I watch how he disrespect the mayor, man. And the mayor's a good guy because at the end of the day, he took the high road. He's a public official, man. He could have locked Scott up. But I guarantee you this, if that was me or you trying to holler at Mayor Jerome like that, we'd be in jail. You know what I'm saying? That white woman would be like, you know.
And that was one of the issues at the last county council meeting is that Georgetown County Council has put in some new rules governing behavior at county council meetings, and the issue is that they got a 3-page document, single space, and there's a lot of language in there that, you know what I mean, they could mold and mingle to say, well, hey, this guy did this, that, he's banned for a year.
But here's the thing, man, and this is, and I would like to see that document, man, because I would like to challenge them. Mm-hmm. Because how do you?
When we get off, I'm gonna send you some information on that because one of the issues was the document was not provided while they were going through the process for the readings. There was not a link provided so that the citizens can go on and actually read the document.
But here's the deal, man. How do you ban somebody? I can't ban you from taking my taxes. So you're gonna make decisions with my money, and then you're gonna tell me I can't come talk about my money? That doesn't even make sense. That's a story in itself right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna take my money, and then you're gonna ban me from coming, man. Come on, man. You know, we've been down that road. The Supreme Court ruled. You remember, man, when the baby mamas would put you on child support and say, hey, man, now you ain't gonna see your child. You're gonna pay the child support, but you ain't gonna see your child. The court say, no, that's a no. You can't take this man money and not give him visitation.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing, man. How do you take my tax money, but then you tell me, because out of order it just all depends on who wants to say I'm out of order.
And I mean, okay, somebody could be having a bad day. Somebody could be emotional. Okay, you put them out of that chamber, but next month they should be able to enter that chamber, you know, given, you know, but just to say, hey, we're going to ban you for a year. Whoa. You know, that sounds like a dictatorship. That don't sound like democracy.
But what happens to them, man, when they get out of order? Because council get out of order sometimes. Who bans them? I mean, really, they argue. So who bans them?
There you go.
So I mean, but you know, Georgetown, you gotta stand up, man. I mean, this your place, man. I'm gonna give a prime example, man. I'm gonna give you another prime example, man. There was an incident, man, where a parent reached out to me because at Rosemary, here was a white teacher who was a black kid.
I covered that story, man, about the doggone the slave. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now Scott wasn't gonna post that.
No.
I had to say, yo, what's up, man? What's up? You don't see this? You acting like Stevie Wonder now?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see this?
Hey, and they protected that teacher. They protected the teacher.
But what makes me even mad is the people that look like me and you, who works at the district office, they protect.
That's who protected.
You know, I called down there, man. I ain't got a call back yet. But I'm cool with that. I'm cool because I wasn't there. But I can tell you this, Georgetown Andrews, man, we coming. We coming. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be sooner than you think, man. We coming. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna be able to have your story heard. And it's not going to be a one-sided story, man. You're going to be able to tell. You're going to be able to have your day, man, and be able to tell your story, man. I mean, again, listen, man, no disrespect. I like Scott as a person. But if you can be a voice for the white boys, we can be a voice for the black boys. You know what I'm saying? And you tell your story, we tell ours. You know, I mean, that's the bottom line. I plan to be at county council, and I'm gonna wrap this up. I plan to be at county council at the next meeting because I want to know. I reached out to the county administrator today. He didn't call me back. But I want to know what gives the sheriff the right to give media, the people, the deputy, the officer's schedule. You put the people in, you put the people of Andrews, man, in a bad position. And I'm just wondering, man, if that's not even an ethics violation. I'm checking to find out, man. Because if it's an ethics violation, man, I'm gonna tell you this. If this was Kevin Waiters when he was a black police chief, he would be in trouble today. Straight up, man. They would have him all over the media, man, that he released these people. I mean, first of all, man, it's like this. Me and you can't call up there to the city and get what time. If you got a case, you can't call up there and they tell you what time the officer come to work. They're going to be like, man, that's a personnel issue. We'll take a message. We'll tell them. Not even the police. You can't call the Burger King up the street, man, and be like, yo, what time Sally come to work? Hey, Sally, my sister.
Exactly. No, we can't get it. We can't get that information out.
We can't give it up. So how the media get it? And then not only the media get, and this is where they were wrong. Because if they were not, it's like this, man. People tell me all the time, man, I'm gonna sue you. I said, good, I'm a part of the press. They got 4 or 5 lawyers waiting for you. That's why I joined the press. So go ahead and sue me. I'll see you in court. I'm not going to take the story down because I printed the story. So if you did right, why did you take the schedule down? I mean, right after you interviewed the chief, the schedule was gone.
Schedule was gone.
I mean, that right there in itself, man, says a whole lot, man. I mean, like, serious, that says a whole lot.
And I mean, that's to, you even have people from Andrews, man, that look like me and you that was defending, you know what I mean? Defending that. And how you can defend that and he took it down.
But here's the thing. Let me say this to you. I wasn't always a pastor, man. And those who know me know this, man. I shot pistols, sold drugs, chased women. That's what I did. So when I was breaking the law, I want to know when the jump out boys working. Because if I know when they're working, then I know when to commit my crime. If I know when they're working, I know when to be on the block. You know what I'm saying? So what you just did by putting their schedule up is you told every criminal this is the time to commit the crime.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Listen. I tell people, man, I'm open and honest about my past. You know, people can't tell my past. You know what I'm saying? Because I can tell it the best. Can't nobody tell it like me, brother.
No doubt, no doubt.
I'm telling you. So, okay, now I know when the police is working. So if I'm a robber, I know when to rob. If I'm gonna sell dope, I know when to go in the middle of uptown and sell my dope because ain't nobody working. You know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna go to Super Chick, man, and walk out with a case of beer, hey, this is the time for me to do it. Ain't no police here.
And man, I this is the power of how hate can blind. Like those citizens who sat back in the back of that auditorium with Scott and came up with this whole thing about the police and this and that. These citizens, like their ignorance made it unsafe. Okay, I can understand if you got a legitimate complaint, but if you don't know what you're talking about and you think by exposing the security apparatus of the town makes you prove a point, no, idiot, you just made your life unsafe and the people around you unsafe to prove a point.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean,
craziness.
I just know this, man. So I'm gonna ask Gab to do something for me, and I'll be fair, man. And me and you can lay off his back. If he'll do this tomorrow for me, I'll lay off his back, man.
I'm with
you, man. I'm gonna bless him. I'm gonna give him a day's salary if he'll do this for me tomorrow. Show me. I want you to post the schedule for the deputies that's controlling Pleasant Hill area tomorrow for me. Weaver's your guy. Tell him to show you that. I guarantee you, they ain't gonna tell you when them deputies in the white area. Show me Paula's Island. They're not gonna do it. Now he's gonna show Andrews. For those of you who think that it's all right, just listen, man. If Scott's your guy and you tell him all the news, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? It's all right. I ain't mad at you. Just tell them showing the deputy is going to be out of the white area so we can know. I guarantee you they're not going to tell the black community when the white deputies are not going to be controlling the white area. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not racist, but
it's not racist to say that 70% of the population of Andrews is black. That's not racist. That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? you put these African American lives at stake, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's not good. The business owners, man. That old lady that's running the business downtown, you know what I'm saying? You put that lady life at stake. You know what I'm saying? That's the bottom line. So listen, I see it like this, man. I call the apple an apple and the orange an orange. You know what I'm saying? Let's look at facts, okay? We're giving the man a hard time in Andrews. And again, I don't even know the man. Never had a conversation with him. Never, ever, ever. I don't even know him. But here's what I will say. Sheriff Weaver is not doing anything different than what Williamsburg County Sheriff is doing to Hemingway. What Florence County is doing to Cades, to Scranton, to all these little towns, man. He's not doing anything different. You know what I'm saying? Nothing at all. He's not doing anything different. They don't have a jail, so you're getting money for the jail. I mean, if Andrews take somebody to jail, they got to pay the county. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, all I'm saying, man, is listen, man. Let's call it what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's the good old boy white system. And Scott got caught up for $2 or $3, man, and they controlling him. And they you know, they got bullseye on Andrews, man. So go over there and let's do this in Andrews, man. Let's do what we need to do in Andrews, man. But hey, The reality behind it is this, man. If we're gonna be fair, let's be fair straight across the board. And if we're not gonna be fair across the board, then hey man, we don't need to do anything. But again, this is what I'll tell the viewers, man. If you like it, I gotta love it. That's not my hood. But you gotta remember this, man. You guys support that. You support that news. And I tell people this all the time, man. It's all right when it's somebody else. But what happens when it comes to you? What happens when it's your son? What happens when it's your daughter? I tell folks, hey, man, I already know Scott gonna come at me. I ain't mad at him. Because, see, you know what I'm saying? My past is my past. We all got one. You know what I'm saying? And I tell folks right now, I love the law right now. But if you mess up, I might mess up. So, you know what I'm saying? So I try to keep myself out of those confinements that'll get me in trouble, man. But I'm human. You know what I'm saying? We every one of us got a past. There's none of us perfect, man. And I'm cool. But I still challenge Scott and Weaver to show me when the officers patrol Pleasant Hill. Show me when ain't no officers gonna be out that way. Show me. And I guarantee you they're not gonna do
it. No doubt.
Yeah,
again, man, I got the owner of Fab News on here, man. Bro, I look forward to working with you, man. I'm gonna wrap this up, man, and I'm gonna call you and think. But listen, man, any parting words? Go ahead and say what you want to say. Y'all see where it's at, man. Go follow Fab News right now. Go follow Fab News right now, and make sure you go and follow him online at, and let's pull this up here, and that's going to be fabnews.online. That's it, right?
That's it.
Fabnews.
Here's the things what I will tell you, man.
Mm-hmm.
People can only mistreat you if you allow them to. Even a dog, man, if you keep kicking him, he's going to run away and he ain't going to come back. So it's up to you, man, to do what's right. And I just tell you, man, in the African-American community, because you're the majority of the population that controls Gab News. And here's what you got to do. You got to stop following him, man. You got to, because listen, Scott can't do that in Horry County. That's why he live in Conway and come to Georgetown County. He's monopolizing right now because there is no other news feed in Georgetown County. There's no one else that can give the news. But I can promise you guys this. That's going to stop because me and my man Rich said, we coming. You know what I'm saying? We coming to town, man, and we're going to print your stories. We're going to tell your stories. We're going to tell, man. And here's the thing. It's not going to be one-sided. You know what I'm saying? If the white people got a story, we'll tell it. If the black people got a story, we'll tell it. But understand this. We're going to always print facts.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, I tell people all the time, they're like, man, don't put me in the paper. I say, hey, if you commit a public crime in the public, you want to be in the public paper.
That's it.
Now, I can't put you in the paper. I just know this in my closing. I know this. When I came from the penitentiary, I knew I wasn't going back. I know it didn't take me 2 or 3 times, man, to make the same mistakes. So I created a plan because no plan is a plan to fail. And I knew I had to have a plan because I wasn't going back. No matter what folks say, no matter what folks do, I know I wasn't going back. And so I say this to you. In all honesty, man, this is what I say to all of you, man. You have to demand people to treat you right, to respect you, to respect your space. Because as quiet as it's kept, man, that's your mayor. That's your city. And if you disrespect your mayor and you disrespect your city, that's on you. And by the way, if you stop right there, Richardson, if you scroll back up, you see I got a magazine that comes out every quarter. It's called Fab Magazine. If you're a business owner, man, we can put you in there. We can push you. If you're a business owner and you send me your information, man, I sponsor the weather every day, and I do it for free. I don't even charge. It's a way to promote your business because every dollar is not a dollar to be made. Sometimes you got to give a little. So God has blessed me in the paper, so I give a little, man, because I want to be able to give back to the community. So every day, man, I sponsor. You know what I'm saying? I sponsor the weather, and I do it for free. So with that being said, man, me and Richardson hope to chop it up, man, and make some things happen, man, and be a voice in your area. As he said, man, follow us. FabNews.online. Follow us, Fab News.
You see it on the screen right there, man. FabNews.online, man. And if I must say, brother, this is nice. I see what you're doing over there, man. Shout out to Weaver Law Firm. Shout out to Fab News hiring sales executives, man. Y'all better listen to Mr. Gerard Mooch, CEO, sales executive from South and North Carolina, 1 to 2 years experience, willing to learn, market research, network, and social media. Client coordination. Apply at Fab News at Yahoo. No, excuse me. Fab News Center. That's FABNEWSCENTER at yahoo.com, or give him a call at 843-858-5237. That's 843-858-5237. And that is my man Gerard Moutry, the owner of Fab News and Beyond. Brother, man, listen, it's been an honor, man, to sit down and chop it up with you on a topic that, like I said, this is a new space for me, the media space, and I appreciate you, man, for reaching out to me. And again, yes, we are coming. Y'all better look forward to it. And it's all fact based, so you know what I mean. Be mad if you want to be mad. I like my grandma said, you know what I mean? If the truth hurts, say ouch and just get over it, man. But
and if you're in the Georgetown area, man, and you're interested in sales, or you're interested in being a reporter, man, I can show you.
Absolutely.
All you got to do is be willing to work with Richardson, man, and I can show you how to make money. Definitely, man, I can show you how to make some money. Most people talk about making 6 figures, man, but if you limit yourself to 6 figures, shame on you. Because you can make a whole lot more. There's more numbers behind 6. You know, there's 7, 8, 9. So the sky is the limit. As I said, man, anybody in the Andrews, Georgetown area, man, you want to work in sales, you want to be a reporter, I can show you how to make some money. I can show you how to make this thing work for you, man. Just reach out to my man Richardson, and we're going to have some things work out, man, in the next week or two that we all can sit at the table and tell our story, man, and make some money at the same time, man. Again, man, Mr. Richardson, man, thank you, man. Definitely, man. Thank you for having me on.
I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna call you, man. I'm gonna wrap this up, man, and I'm gonna call you in a few minutes, man.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right, man. That was again, man, Mr. Moutry from the Fab News. That was a great conversation. Thanks. Shout out. What up, Leroy? What up, Smat? What up, Jerry Davis? I thank y'all for hanging in there, man. Share this broadcast. Again, you know, just trying to work this thing out, just trying to figure this thing out. But you know what I do promise you, man, I'm gonna bring you the facts as they come. Okay. Like I said, I ain't gonna add to it, I ain't gonna take from it. All right. And that's what it is. With that, I'm gonna say peace. See you later. Again, before I leave out, man, y'all make sure y'all go check out the brothers. Go check out Fab News website. That is fabnews.online. That is fabnews.online. Go check it out, man. You know, as you can see here, man, a lot of stories from the Tyree Nichols stories, you know, and he's got them coming in there, man. He's got a great big following, and look forward to working with this brother in the future as we move on with this thing right here, man. Again, I appreciate it, brother, man. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I'm just glad that I'm able to contribute, you know what I mean, some way and keep, because, man, there's a lot of people that maybe halfway around the world, man, but got a connection to Andrews and want to know what's going on in Andrews, because that's just the kind of love that place has instilled in us, man. And so it's worth fighting for. And we're going to keep on with that. Again, peace.